Hey folks, it's Rob. Welcome back. We're continuing our series today on the Monstrous Compendium Appendix for the Mystara setting. It's, I believe, episode 27. Jeez. We're on episode 70, page 74. And we have, what's this fellow? Called a Lupin. Yes. And he's got a spear, he's got a sword, he's wearing a tunic, he's got pants and boots and a cloak, but he's got a wolf head, and no, that's a tail in the back there. But guess what? He's not a werewolf, and he's not a furry. Yeah, let's get into it. Stat block: Lupin, climate/terrain, temperate plains or forests. They are rare. They are organized in tribal units. They are active at night. They are carnivores. Their intelligence is average, much like a human at 8 to 10. Treasure type C. Alignment any good. 2d6 appear in a group. Armor class 10, 8 with armor. Movement 12, hit dice 2. To hit AC 0, 19. They get 1 attack, which is by weapon for damage. No special attacks, defenses, or magic resistance. They are size medium, 5 to 6 feet tall. They are of steady morale at 12, and XP value 65. This is basically much in a way like a human character in a lot of these regards, right? Human size, human intelligence, using weapons. Let's get into it. Lupins are canine humanoids who, despite looking much like werewolves, despise these true lycanthropes. Some lupins hate werewolves so much that they actively hunt them down. Despite their fearsome appearance, lupins generally act friendly towards humans and demi-humans. A fine coat of fur, typically ranging from black to light tan, covers the lupin's body and its canine face. The extremely rare pure white lupins usually possess gifts of extraordinary powers, spells, psionics, etc. All lupins have hair on their canine heads similar to human hair. As the lupin ages, this hair gradually turns snowy white. A lupin has a non-prehensile tail. Lupins speak common and their own language, which to outsiders sounds like a series of yaps, howls, and barks. They maintain friendly relations with humans and demi-humans and will not immediately attack a party of strangers that shows no signs of evil behavior. We have our picture here, and today it's still the same issue of being slightly paler than the actual picture in my hand, but I can't say that you're really losing anything today other than the fact that the spear point, like much of these shiny metallic objects, is a little bit lost here on towards the end. But you get the general impression pretty well, actually. He's just slightly paler than what I'm looking at. Combat. Lupins enjoy fighting in packs, surrounding and harassing their prey first. With the target thus distracted, one individual darts in and strikes, returning to the surrounding circle so another Lupin can attack. An instinctive hatred of werewolves runs strong in Lupins. They normally employ weapons such as lances with silver heads, silver swords, and silver-tipped flight arrows against these foes. Lupins carry at least one normal melee weapon, usually a sword or a mace, to deal with non-lycanthropic threats. Lupins can detect a werewolf in human form 90% of the time. Upon finding one, they let out a ferocious howl and an attack without mercy. The canine creatures have only a 15% chance of detecting other kinds of lycanthropes in human form and do not attack these other types on sight. Like werewolves, lupins are repelled by wolfsbane. That's a interesting little point there. If you were to want to introduce these in a campaign where, you have these and werewolves, obviously you wouldn't have one or you wouldn't have these without werewolves to be involved. Really, I don't think. Um, but they're both affected by wolfsbane. These just never have a human form they revert to. They're just always look like werewolves, right? Or they look like themselves, lupins. Habitat/society. Lupins are quite civilized, known to build villages made of wooden lodges. The lodges, constructed of bark attached to wooden frames, center around a fire called the... Oh boy, that is a series of consonants with an apostrophe. Let's see here. It's BG apostrophe TYR. Big tier? I'm going to go with that. Big tier. Probably horribly wrong. If you have insight, please make a comment. The Big Tier, which serves as the tribe's socializing and meeting place. I'm just going to call that a lodge house. Maybe longhouse if you prefer. Most lodges house a single pack, while some large ones hold up to 3 or 4 packs. Nomadic lupins prefer comfortable caves and build big tiers to mark their locations. Lupins avoid human cities, which seem too big and too dirty for their taste. Because of their near-perfect ability to spot werewolves, lupins find themselves valued allies to humans in rural areas. Lupins run in tribes of 3d4 packs. Each pack has 2d6 adults, plus 1d4 pups. Each pack follows an elder with 3 to 5 hit dice. A tribe's elders join to form the White Howl, the lupin ruling group. The White Howl gets its name from the members' hair, usually white with age. So functionally, elders, right? Some sages speculate that lupins branched off from the true werewolf bloodline long ago. Tribal tales contain cryptic references to the Great Division, a bloody schism that spawned the hatred that exists today. Though details remain sketchy, apparently lupins believed in peaceful coexistence with non-shape changers, while the true werewolves saw those locked into one form as nothing but potential food resources. Some lupin packs consider the week of the full moon the most important time of the month. During those 2 or 3 days of that week when the moon full shines at the brightest, these packs form hunting parties known as Ahfilir. It's AH apostrophe FLIR. So, Ahfilir, with the specific purpose of tracking down and killing werewolves. An Ahfilir usually includes 4d4 lupins who drive themselves ferociously in terrifying devotion to the hunt. During the week of the new moon, when the sky is blackest, these lupins feel sluggish and apathetic, knowing that they must wait another month to experience the joy of hunting werewolves under the full moon. Ecology. As hunters, lupins only take what they need. They especially enjoy tracking wild boars, deer, and bears. They love fresh meat so much that they consider talk of eating vegetables a vulgar insult. In general, lycanthrope populations dwindle in areas where lupins commonly live, and lupins seem rare in lands dominated by lycanthropes. Fair enough. I imagine they're mortal enemies, despite being quite similar looking, right? So, that was the lupin, and I thought that was quite good. I'm going to have a little, feel a little tickle in my throat. So anyway. Sorry about that. But now we're going to move forward to the next page, page 75, where we have one of 2 actual lycanthropes we're going to talk about today. And these are particular lycanthropes to the Mystara setting. In this case, the Werejaguar. So here we have pictured, again, a paler version of what I have in my hand. But because the color selections are such as they are, it's actually not terrible. It's just that the white blends more into the background on the face and arms. But you can see a muscular and not terribly hairy looking body wearing, a loincloth with a satchel over his body. Kind of prone on one knee, ready to move. He's got a ring on one finger. He's got long claws on his hands. And he's got, he's got that. Honestly, I would have. There's a very small distinction between jaguars and pumas, for example. There's mostly about coloration. But you can see that he's got the leopard spots, right, on his head and arms. I'm assuming it's a he. Let's see. Climate terrain jungle, unsurprisingly. They are very rare. They are solitary. Activity cycle any. They are carnivores. They are of low intelligence, low to very. So, uh, 5 to 12, quite a range actually. Treasure type U in their lair, they are chaotic evil. One will appear. Armor class 4, movement 18, so half again as fast as your regular party members. Hit dice 5 plus 2. To hit AC 0 is 15. It gets 3 attacks, which is a D4 claw, and a D8 bite. Special attacks are rear claws, D6 each, and leaping. Special defenses hit only by silver or +1 or better weapons, and surprise. Magic no resistance, no magic resistance. It is a size medium, 6 foot tall in human form. It is elite morale at 13 and 2,000 XP value. Lycanthropes in Mystara. A lycanthrope is a human who can change into a beast. The most common example is the werewolf. Lycanthropes normally wear no armor since it interferes with their shape changing. Some animals, such as horses, do not like the smell of lycanthropes and will react to them with fear. Like when we remember if you ever watched Young Frankenstein, they say they refer to air Bluka, and you hear the horses whinnying in the background, right? Obviously, if the lycanthrope comes near the ostler or the stablers or something like that, the horses will react. Anyhow, that's a diversion. Sorry about that. To the casual observer, the animal looks spooked, pawing at the ground, trying to distance itself from the lycanthrope, making noise, etc. A person attacked by such a creature could become a lycanthrope. The chance is equal to 1% per point of damage suffered from the lycanthrope's attacks. A character infected with lycanthropy can be cured with the application of a remove curse spell, followed by a successful saving throw versus polymorph. A lycanthrope returns to human shape at death. Werejaguars. Mystarans know werejaguars as the scourge of tropical rainforests, solitary, extremely effective hunters. The werejaguar has 3 forms: completely human, a human-jaguar hybrid, which is what we have pictured here, and a jaguar with glowing red eyes. In their human form, werejaguars are generally lithe, athletic folks with long limbs and very sharp hearing. Their mood varies between quiet but alert contemplation of their surroundings to a harsh, controlled, predatory rage. In this form, werejaguars act impatient and short-tempered in cities. In their hybrid form, werejaguars boast elongated and very muscular legs. Their torsos remain human but also grow much more muscular. Hybrid forms end not in human hands but in prehensile claws. The feet feature claws too, not shown here, enabling the creature to rake an enemy. In this cat-like humanoid form, a werejaguar can walk upright or run on all fours. The hybrid has a jaguar's head, one still capable of human speech and facial expressions. Which is a bit of a challenge when your face is shaped like that, I gotta say, but, whatever. Pure jaguar form cannot speak, but does retain human mental faculties, plus the animal's hunting instincts. Only the glowing eyes indicate its lycanthropic nature. Combat. Werejaguars do not simply rush headlong into attacks, rather, these hunters stalk their prey in the wilderness and choose a moment of weakness to attack. In their jaguar state, these lycanthropes can climb quite well. They scale trees and cliffs as thieves climb walls, with a 95% chance rate. Because of their feline stealth and natural camouflage, in rainforest, opponents suffer a -2 penalty to their surprise roll. A werejaguar also gains +1 bonus on its initial attack roll when leaping from above onto prey. In combat, the werejaguar can rake a victim with its 2 rear claws automatically for 1d6 points of damage apiece if both front claws strike successfully that round. The creature can use this attack form in both its pure jaguar and hybrid states. The creature can summon 1d2 normal jaguars that will arrive in 1d4 rounds. In some cases, 25% likelihood, 1d4 jaguars will be with a lycanthrope when the party encounters it. Like other werebeasts, werejaguars are hurt only by silver weapons. Habitat/society. Werejaguars have no interest in seeking out or working with their own kind. Each has its own territory and almost always meets a fellow werejaguar in trouble with indifference. True werejaguars, born to lycanthropy not infected with it, mate only once. After producing a litter, 1d8 kittens, the two split up again. The female spends a year caring for the young. Contrary to popular lore, true werebeasts change form at will, unaffected by the phases of the moon. Only infected lycanthropes unwilling to change shape during the full moon, unwillingly change shape during the full moon. True werejaguars cannot be cured of lycanthropy. Some rainforest tribes fear werejaguars, revering them as minions of evil immortals. Rumors tell of savage werejaguars able to cast clerical spells. These cats, witch doctors in hidden caves, devour victims in service to their immortals. Wow, that's... Ecology. Werejaguars hate weretigers with a passion, loath to share hunting ground with another feline lycanthrope. In the twilight, they enjoy hunting game, from animals to humans. So yes, that's going to be an interesting thing to have occupying the jungle around the village that the party is visiting. But it's not hard to make that the ongoing focus of a campaign, right? Werejaguar just seems more of a one-off. That's my opinion, though. Moving forward to page 76, we'll do our last monster of the day. And that is another lycanthrope, and again, another true lycanthrope, the Wereswine. That's right, Wereswine. You can guess what a Wereswine is. We have a picture here of a portly fellow. He's got a bald, orcish-looking head. I say orcish because, again, orcs tend to be kind of porcine in feature in classic Dungeons & Dragons. And we can see this man is dressed in ill-fitting clothing, has a dagger at his side. Again, the color is a bit paler than what I have here in my hand. He is standing in front of what appears to be a platter with the remnants of a corpse, rib cage, and there are flies. These little dots are flies in the background. Interesting. Let's get started. So the Wereswine is found in any forest, swamp, or urban climate/terrain. They are uncommon. Oh, that's worrying. They organize in herds. Activity cycles any. They are carnivores. They are very intelligent at 11 to 12. Treasure type C in their lair. They are chaotic evil. 1d3 will appear in an encounter. Armor class 3. Movement 18. Hit dice 9. To hit AC 0, 11. It gets one attack, which is 1d6 by tusk or by weapon. Special attack is a charm. Special defense, hit only by silver or +1 or better weapons, like all other lycanthropes functionally. Magic resistance, none. No magic resistance. Size medium, 6 foot tall in human form. They have champion morale at 15 and are worth 2,000 XP. Existing on the fringes of human settlements, wereswine appear either as huge hogs with tusks or as grossly fat humans. These lycanthropes would seem almost ridiculous if not for their voracious hunger for human flesh and the homicidal ferocity they display in satisfying this appetite. In their human form, wereswine are extremely fat by choice. Their appearance helps lull would-be victims into a state of incautious behavior. In this form, the males have bald heads and no facial hair. At will, some wereswine can extend their ears and tusks to look more piggish, as shown in the illustration below. Okay. This parlor trick is about as commonplace as wiggling ears and rolling tongues amongst humans. So, okay, honestly, that's like a 1 in 4 kind of thing. In pig form, Wereswine look like pink, smooth-skinned hogs of large girth. Only when the victims get close enough to the mouth of such a beast do they realize it has fangs. Wereswine take no hybrid form. Although they can shape change freely during the night, unaffected by the moon cycle, they must keep one shape throughout the daylight hours, usually their human form. Combat. Wereswine prefer indirect means of combat, relying on ambushes to throw their victims off balance. If a wereswine has gone without food for too long, 2 days, it casts aside all sense of tactics, rushing headlong at victims to sate its ravenous appetite. Whether in pig or human form, all wereswine can cast a charm person spell 3 times per day. A saving throw versus spell is allowed, receives a -2 penalty. The creature usually resorts to the spell to snag prey quickly. As a rule, each wereswine controls 1d4 -1 charmed humans at any given time. In this case, I would make that a 0 to 3 instead of a 1 to 3, because quite often I will leave a minimum of 1. But in this case, it is possible that the wereswine just doesn't have any charmed victims currently, having eaten the last one. It got hungry. What can I say? In general, a wereswine in human form avoids combat, its bulk making it unsuited to fighting. In this form, a wereswine prefers to outwit its prey or even employ poisons. If pressed, however, a creature in its human form can fight with clubs, daggers, and other small weapons that do not require great force or skill to wield. In pig form, wereswine use their large tusks to rend flesh. A favorite tactic makes good use of low-slung profile. They lay low in dense underbrush and attack when prey walks by. And you can imagine what kind of attacks they want to go for, what with them being low to the ground on all fours as your party members go by. Yes, right to the hindquarters or the groin, right? There's no such thing really as a called attack, though, for location in Dungeons and Dragons, and be very thankful of that. Habitat/society. Wereswine fit the stereotypical role of the dirty, greedy, lazy pig. In their human form, they tend to be slow, unkempt, avaricious, and always hungry. Many wereswine once lived as merchants or farmers, ambushed on the outskirts of towns, or attacked on their farms and infected with lycanthropy. Those who used to be merchants still can keep their businesses going, using their charmed victims as loyal lackeys and spies. Wereswine feel obsessed with creature comforts such as rich food, plentiful wines, soft beds, nice furniture, and the like. They make their lairs in comfortable cabins and manors, a bit removed from the bustle of towns and cities, but close enough to civilization to keep them well fed. The life of a wereswine is filled with decadence, and the creatures wallow in it. In fact, wereswine prefer to stay in their human state, changing into pigs only to attack or mate. Wereswine must be in pig form to mate. The average litter consists of 2d4 piglets. Young can shape change at 6 months, taking their form of fat human adolescents. If a wereswine has been infected with lycanthropy, not born a were creature, a special situation triggers its change into pig form. The creature must make an intelligence check to resist. This trigger might be something like watching someone eat a large meal. Ecology. Wereswine and wereboars are tenacious enemies. When in animal form, they attack each other on sight. Each of the 2 porcine lycanthrope types can sense the other in human form and is likely to become belligerent. Wereswine and wereboars enjoy hunting each other for food. I just don't really see that happening terribly much, but, if you're like in certain principalities of Galantria, I suppose there's plenty of rare or lycanthropes around. This one's a little more interesting to use, I feel, as like a background villain, right? It's not immediately apparent that the fat, greedy guy is also a Wereswine. Um, but, if you want to, or you can have him amongst a group of orcs and doing his thing. But he has finer pleasures and wants the nice things. So he sends his orcs out to raid villages to get the things that he wants. Plus, possibly some human flesh. Give me, give me a few pounds of that guy over there. But that'll be it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed these entries, and I hope you'll enjoy listening next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.